Welcome to another edition of GooberPasta. Do you like spiritual Halloween stores? Well, if you do, this next tale will be quite spooky.
I know a place down the street, and it is haunted as fuck. I mean, there is ghosts pouring out every crack of that place. There are ghouls, there are zombies, vampires, werewolves, whatever creepy shit you want, they got it. And that place is called Spirito Halloween. I see normal people walk through there, and they come out looking spooky as fuck. And I've been staking this place out for weeks. They moved into an old Circuit City building that's been abandoned since 2006. The last thing I bought there was 10 Years Autumn Effect album. I think it was called Autumn Effect. Yeah, that sounds about right. But let's not worry about mid-2006 bands that played alternative rock music. We gotta talk about these spooky fucks that keep coming in and out of this place. I estimate that there are probably 20 to 30 people that go in there within a 4-hour time frame. Some of them come out staying like human beings. Others come out looking spooky as all hell with pumpkins and shit. I don't know what's going on, but I gotta put a stop to it. I sat outside the bushes one night and decided that I was going to run up in there and just start slugging some ghosts. And sure enough, that's exactly what I did. I put on a lot of sweatshirts. Well, not a lot of sweatshirts, but a bunch of shirts. And then some sweatshirts. And then I put a motorcycle helmet on. That way if the ghouls and the vampires started resisting and punching me, they'd be punching a lot of shirts and a couple sweatshirts over it. I got a nice big running start. I made sure to stretch out really good and nice, and I went sprinting in there. The doors opened on both sides for me, and then I saw some kid trying on a hockey mask that looked like it was out of Friday the 13th. I took him and immediately threw him in the trash can. "Hey!" he screamed from the trash can. "Why'd you do that, Mom?" The ghoul's mom looked over at me, and she was all mad as hell, but I roundhoused her ass, and she went flying through a plate glass window. Then a guy with a manager tag on said, "Excuse me, sir, what do you think you're doing?" But I didn't respond. I picked him up and I body slammed his ass, and he landed with a loud thud on the old marble floor. What a dick butt, I thought. And then I decided to go in there and clear out the rest of them. Some big burly guy trying on a Princess Leia mask, thought he was going to get all tough with me, but I saw right through a disguise. "You're no princess, you big burly fuckwad." And I started throwing some of the most sweet crescent kicks I possibly could. Each one hit his body with a nice hard thud. "Oh, why you kicking me, you fucking dipshit?" He then proceeded to grab me around the neck, but I was too fast for him. I slipped through one of my hooded sweatshirts, went underneath his feet, and then took him out from underneath him. His head hit the back wall, and he was knocked out unconscious. Sizing up the rest of the room, I could tell he was going to be the biggest threat. So clearing out the rest of these ghouls and ghosts was going to be no problem. I ran up to somebody claiming to be assistant manager, and I said, "Where's the head ghoul?" I don't know, she screamed in terror. It was just a ploy, though, because she was trying to act like she was scared, but really she was wanting to do all the spooky stuff. So I took her, and I picked her up way over my head, WWE style, and then I just dropped her from 7 feet over my head. "Ow, you bitch," she called me. But her insults didn't faze me, because I knew I was doing some good work up in here. I already cleared out 2/3 of the room, and there was a third left to go. Other ghouls began to run. I saw a guy dressed up as a Power Ranger, but I knew he wasn't no Power Ranger, so I gave pursuit. He was almost to the door when I took some plastic ninja sword, and I took it out, and then I hit him with it, and it was just hollow plastic, so it didn't do a lot of damage, but I didn't care. I was hitting him, and he kept running and running, and finally he just ran out and got away. I was like, well, damn, there goes that dingbutt. So what was left to do? Everybody was either beat up or they were out the door of this Spirit of Halloween. I was going to have to end this shit forever. So I went outside and I saw somebody trying to get in their car. They were able to get in their car, and I could see they were on the phone, probably with the authorities, so I knew I had to act fast. Fortunate for me, in their panic, they didn't lock their door, so I was able to open the door, and it was some 70-year-old guy, so I pulled him out and threw him out of the car. "Ooh!" he grunted as he hit the pavement with a nice soft thud. I got into his car, and then I backed it up as far back as I could before I went back out on the road. I then decided to light up all the cigarettes that I had on me, which was none. Damn, I thought, why did I quit smoking this week when I knew I was going to have to burn down this Spirit of Halloween and stop this spooky shit forever? So I revved up the engine as much as I could, and I slammed that bitch in drive, and I went barreling as fast as the car would possibly go in that short amount of time at the store. I then opened the door and jumped out just before the car made contact. It hit the building with a large thud and went straight in. I could hear shelves being knocked over. I could hear glass breaking, metal on metal contact. It was some brutal ass shit, and in a normal day, this would be pretty cool. But I was here on business, and the business was destroy Spirit of Halloween and stop the spooky stuff forever. I ran up into the building again, and I could smell gasoline emanating from the vehicle. All I needed was one spark, and that's when I found it. A Halloween jack-o'-lantern had been placed up by the front counter, and there was a live candle in it. So I took it, and I ran out of the building, and I threw the jack-o'-lantern with candle inside and all at the car. As soon as it hit, the pumpkin smashed into 1,000 pieces, and the flames from the candle ignited the gasoline, and I ran as fast as I could from the building, and it ignited in smoke and fire, and it was burning as hard as it could. I could hear people screaming. Several of the people that were in the store started filming me on their cell phones, and I could hear people on the phone with the authorities giving them a very detailed description of what I looked like, saying I was some goon dick looking motherfucker with a bunch of shirts on. Boy, if I had time to whip each and every one of these people's asses, I would, but I had to get the hell out of here. So I went running down the street as fast as I possibly could. I was able to steal another vehicle, and I drove 2 towns over. The radio had already begun announcing reports of my deed, saying that it was an act of terrorism, domestic terrorism that is. These people have no idea that I saved them. I drove into the other town, and I decided to park at a strip mall, which was eerily abandoned. I parked the car, and as I began looking around, my jaw dropped with horror. I opened up the vehicle, and I took 4 steps outside of the vehicle and dropped to my knees as I gazed upon another Spirit of Halloween. Thank you, bitches.